Hello everyone, and welcome to the first devlog for Ode Generations Aiden, a top-down pixel art RPG that's based off my wife's book series. Now real quick, we realize that some of you may have already been following us on my wife's channel, which, after some discussion, we've agreed to dedicate solely to the editing and publishing process of her books. With that, the nice thing is that this also gives us an opportunity to reboot the development process of Aiden. And I've got to say, after rewatching some of our first videos, well, we'll just chalk that up to the process of learning. So with that out of the way, let's talk about this game. And before we get into any of the lore or backstory, let's just cut straight to the gameplay and mechanics. In Aiden, there's a day and night cycle. The day is more peaceful, and during that time, you could be farming, foraging, mining, or helping other characters you meet throughout the story. The night, however, is dark and scary. This is when the hordes of undead may come and wreak havoc on the unprepared. And so that is the basis of the gameplay loop. During the day, you prepare, and during the night, you survive. Each area has its own challenges to overcome, and when you succeed, the player is rewarded with better gear, advancement through the story, and a new area to overcome. That means we need farming mechanics. Yes, a common trope of cozy gaming will be turned on its head as you run against the clock and prepare for nightfall. We also need a good combat system. Now, when I think of a lot of other games that use this art style, it seems like common practice to keep the animation simple. Just rotate the sword around the character and we're good to go. And while that's fine for those games, let's just say I want a little more than that. And that maybe I may not personally be happy unless I feel like I'm playing a strange top-down version of Super Smash Bros. And yes, I am absolutely willing to push myself until I get there. I spent a decent bit of time on this already, and it seems like it's headed in the right direction. We're also working on a weapon and crafting system. Blades can be sharpened to double their attack power, and while progressive hits will lower durability, the weapon will not typically break when it goes blunt. Instead, it can be sharpened with a whetstone. I believe this should solve a looting mechanic that exists in more recent Zelda games, where you are encouraged to keep finding new weapons because you know that all of your current ones will break. We're not doing that here. If you develop a relationship with your sword, at some point it may become mostly useless, but you'll be able to sharpen it again, or at least break it down into separate crafting components. Weapons and armor can also be enchanted or tethered with different effects. As for crafting, I envision different weapon parts like the blade, hilt, and binding, or pommel, being forged from the environment and coming together to make different combinations. Fortunately, creating these features no longer seems all that daunting. When I switched from Unity to Godot about 2 years ago, it was hard to do anything without watching tutorials. And if any of you are in that place, the best advice I can offer is to stay consistent. A couple of hours each day, and if you are persistent, perhaps even prayerful, things will change. To finish things off, this game is based on the origin story of my wife's book series, Ode Generations. She has already written 3 entries now and is about to publish the 4th, but these start from the middle of the timeline, and thus leaves the origin unconfined to an already written story. So we'll have some freedom. This also means that there will be a dialogue system, cutscenes, boss battles, and other things to go along with the story. And with that, I think we'll wrap things up for now. If you have any questions about the game or things you'd like us to cover, feel free to leave a comment. We'll see if we can't get to it in a future devlog. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to support the game or the channel, please like and subscribe. It really helps us a lot, especially when getting started. Hope to see you next time, and see you later.